Is democracy still working? Has it ever worked, to be honest? It's a question that has been popping up here and there, and if we look at our past century, those thoughts don't come as a surprise. Hitler, Putin, and recently Trump are just some examples of political leaders that have been elected through democratic processes, only to start undermining democratic principles as soon as they were in power. People are losing confidence in political institutions. Polarization is on the rise, and in the meantime, geopolitical tensions are rising. Is democracy still working? It's the wrong question. It's not just because a plant withers in the garden that we should abandon the garden. It means we need to tend to it more carefully, give it water, sunlight, and care. Democracy is no different. We shouldn't be asking whether democracy is still working. Can we build a better democracy? And the answer to that is a resounding, yes, we can. Elections are considered to be the highlight of democracy. Sometimes they're even called the feast of democracy. And for many people, voting and democracy have become synonyms. The way we vote isn't even questioned anymore. And yet, taking a critical look at our voting systems is key to building better and stronger democracies. The most dominant voting system in the world is one vote per person for one candidate or party. And that system has some serious flaws. Imagine we have an election with 6 parties and a majority coalition has to be formed. When I'm in the voting booth, I often face some dilemmas. I would really like to vote for Party E, but they're new. I absolutely don't want C to win because they oppose everything I stand for. What if I vote for E and they don't manage to get a seat? Maybe I should go for B then. They're okay, but their program lacks a couple of really important points that E has. Maybe I should just vote blank. Do you recognize this? Do you recognize this feeling of powerlessness and frustrations with this single choice option? And then the results come out. When we look at this, we conclude that dreaded Party C is clearly the winner, and the coalition with A can easily be formed. You can already imagine representatives of Party C appearing on television saying, "We are the voice of the people." Are they? 33% is still a minority, although a large one. What about the majority who did not vote for Party C? Are they all okay with them winning the elections? We do not know. This leads to discontent and polarization, fueling the divisions that weaken democracy. Large minorities with extremist agendas feel entitled to power because we cannot express what we do not want. Imagine that we could not only voice our support, but also our opposition. A vote against would allow us to draw the line and show what we do not want. If we could just give everyone one against vote, these could be the results of our election. Would you still say that Party C is the winner? Would you still think that a coalition between A and C would be a good idea? Would representatives of Party C still be able to claim that they are the voice of the people? I think not. Now, this is already better than what we have, but it can still be improved upon. What if you want to support or oppose more than one party? Or what if Party B is your preference and you'd settle for E, but absolutely not for C? We need a voting system that also includes those nuances. And they exist. Ranked voting systems. Here's an example of one of those systems, a slightly modified version of the Schultz single transferable vote. With this system, you rank your parties or candidates according to your preference. You can rank as many or as few as you want, even with gaps. Putting parties at the same position is also allowed. Those that you don't want to rank can be given a default position to order the others around. It's flexible and easy to use. Winners are those that outrank the others the most. That means that in a hypothetical election from before, parties A and C would end last. With ranked voting, it creates coalitions that are well supported while meeting the least resistance. It's a little bit like choosing pie flavors for a party. You might not get your first choice, but at least you don't get the one that most people detest just because this is a favorite of your largest minority. Ranked voting helps ensure that the outcome is something that everyone can live with. And isn't that what we want from democracy? Something everyone can be okay with? And there's more. A changing voting system would change the behavior of politicians. We would like politicians to work together for the betterment of everyone, but what we see today is a lot of bickering and utter disregard for the weakest in society, leading to the aforementioned mistrust and discontent. That, too, is a consequence of our current voting system. Currently, one of the best ways to win an election is to pick an emotional topic, claim you're the only one that can solve it, and successfully convince your constituents that the others are the problem or even the enemy. Not something that leads to sound leadership, but it's a really good strategy to make sure enough people vote for you so you can claim victory. With ranked voting, we get a different story. Sure, your hardcore supporters will still put you at the top. But what about those that you claimed to be the problem? What about those that were accused to be the enemy? Down to the bottom you go. The same strategy that helps you win elections today would make sure you lose them tomorrow. Ranked voting is already used in places like Ireland, New Zealand, and even some parts of the US. And it works. Where it is implemented, politicians and candidates emphasize on common grounds. Political campaigns become more civilized and polarization decreases. After all, if voters don't put you as their first choice, you still want to be able to secure a spot as their second or third choice rather than risk being ranked last. Imagine this would be implemented everywhere. Can we create a better democracy? Absolutely. Ranked voting isn't just a better system. It's a step towards a democracy that represents our values, fosters collaboration, and welcomes innovation. Let's build a wave of change and demand a voting system that works for everyone. Democracy deserves no less. Thank you.